How to use GrooveSell and GroovePages to set up a product, an order bump, and a one-click upsell. In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to set up GrooveSell and GroovePages to create a product, an order bump, and a one-click upsell page. Hi, my name is Rob Brazzera, and it's my mission to simplify Groove for you. Welcome to the ETA. Hey, my name is Rob Brazzera, and remember, if you want to continue to receive notifications anytime we release a new video, make sure you click subscribe below. We are actually going to be doing some kind of cool stuff today. We're going to be going through GrooveSell. There's been a whole ton of changes in there, and we're actually also going to be talking about GroovePages a little bit as well. We're going to be creating a couple pages in GroovePages, and then we're actually going to be creating a product, an order bump, and an upsell in GrooveSell, and we're going to be putting that into GroovePages. So I know a lot of people have been wanting to see how to do some of this stuff, and like I said, I know there's been a lot of changes, so we're going to take a couple minutes and kind of go through this stuff. So without further ado, let's kind of get rolling here. Let me share my screen here real quick, and we're just going to go over kind of what we're going to be doing today here. So we're going to be talking about GrooveSell. Like I said, we are going to be doing a little bit in GroovePages as well, because they kind of do go hand in hand here. So what we're going to do, we're actually going to create a page, a sales page for our product in GroovePages. We're going to go ahead and add an order bump to it, and then we're going to actually add a one-click upsell to it as well. So a couple things that we're going to do. We're going to start off with just a single product, and we're going to start very, very basic. So when you start doing a single product, right, there's two things that are involved. There's the GroovePages side, and then there's the GrooveSell side. So on the GroovePages side, you're going to need a sales page, and then you're going to need a thank you page. And on the GrooveSell side, you're gonna have to create a brand new product funnel, and then you're gonna have to actually create a product where it starts off, it gives you a default product in there. So you're gonna have to go ahead and edit that product for your actual, for the product within GrooveSell. Like I said, we're gonna kind of go through that. So that's gonna just be a single item we're gonna do. Then we're gonna go back, we're gonna go ahead and add an order bump, and then we're gonna go do it again, and we're gonna go ahead and actually add a one-click upsell on there, okay? So pretty straightforward stuff, but we will go ahead and get started here. So I'm going to start off here with, we're actually in GrooveSell right here. We're going to go into GroovePages first. So you can see I'm in a test site right here. So this is one of my freebie sites here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to go into funnels here, and we're going to go ahead and create a new funnel. See, we'll go ahead and, all right. We will go ahead and get this in here. And actually what we're going to do is we're going to remove pretty much everything else out of here. All right, good. So what we're going to do, we're actually going to take out this button here as well. So we'll get rid of that. Basically, we're just going to say buy our awesome product. All right, so basically we're just going to do this, buy our awesome product, right? Very, very simple sales page. And then the other thing we're going to need here is we're going to need a thank you page as well. All right, we'll just use this as the thank you page. All right, again, very simple. I'm not going to do any changes on here, but just a very simple thank you page right here, okay? So what we're going to do here is I'm just going to go ahead and do a quick publish just so we have a couple things, because what we're going to need is when we actually create our funnel, we're going to need a couple URLs in here. What I like to do is I always like to just go to Google Drive. I always just go ahead and create a new Google Sheet. All right, and I track everything here on my Google Sheets. This is just going to be a demo. This is going to be a demo product, right? And I just like to keep track of everything on here. It will make stuff easier. So what we're going to do here, this is actually going to be our sales page, right? So let me edit the settings in here. This is going to be our sales page. All right, so that's our sales page. And this here is going to be our thank you page. Spell thank you page. Everybody see what we have so far. We have 2 pages. We have a thank you page and a sales page. All right, pretty straightforward so far. What I'm actually gonna do here is I'm gonna actually go over here and publish these as well. And I already have a domain, robzera.com. So we're gonna go ahead and publish that. And then we're also gonna go ahead and publish, let's see what happened, this thing loaded up yet. Okay, cool. All right, so here's our sales page. Okay, I'm gonna come into our demo product here. I'm just gonna say we have our demo product, sales page. I'll tell you why we keep track of all this stuff here in a minute. Okay, so that's our sales page for our demo product. And then we have our thank you page right here. So let's go ahead and publish this. All right, it's cool. So that's published as well. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this and put this into here. So our thank you page is this right here. All right, so nothing major so far. We have 2 pages. We have our sales page. We have our thank you page. And then that's all we really worry about right now in GrooveFunnels or in GroovePages. So we don't have to do anything else there just yet. So now what we're going to do, now we're actually going to go into GrooveSell. Okay, so brand new here, we're now going to go ahead and create our product. And we're just going to create a straight up product that's $29, right? Nothing at all major, just straight up $29 product. So we're going to go into new product funnel, and we're actually going to create a product funnel, which is basically a sales funnel for our products here. And right now we only have our first product. We only have a demo product. So we're going to call this demo product. Internal name, we can call it whatever we want, right? We're going to call this demo product as well. PRODUCT, okay, in the description, this is our description. And now category and currency. You can obviously go ahead and choose anything you want in here. We're just going to choose internet marketing for now. Currency, we're going to use a US dollar. Domains, I don't have any domains set up for GrooveSell here, so I'm just going to go ahead and just leave that no domain selected. And then show in marketplace, I don't want this to be in the marketplace. The marketplace is basically Groove's affiliate marketplace where you can go in there and sell different products and whatnot. So I don't want this to be in the marketplace. So once I have that set up, I'm going to go ahead and click on create product funnel. And you can see right here, comes up with our first product, demo product. And what we want to do here, you can see we have a couple options. This right here is delete, which we can't do just yet. This right here is clone or copy. This is edit. This right here is the code, which basically allows us to grab our tracking and proof widgets. And we're not worried about that right now. And then this right here is going to be our shopping cart. Once we make it live, we're going to need this information here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and click on edit. And this is our main product. It's a front end product, the very first one we created. So we're going to go ahead and click on edit. And now we're just going to walk through every step up on top here. Okay. So it starts off with the product name. So again, we just have a demo product, the internal product name. We're just going to call this demo product as well. And this is our demo product description. Okay. And we have an option right here. Is this an upsell product or is it the front end product? For right now, it's just a front end product. Right? So it's our very first product. We're going to keep it as front end. Now the pricing. Now this is where you can add the pricing for your product. And I have to say, I've used many different things. The pricing structures that you can set up here are absolutely awesome. The flexibility is like seriously off the chart what you can do. So what we can do is we can have a single price point name. So let's for this one right here, we're just going to call this price point 1. I'm going to call this a single price, right? We're going to do a couple just so you can see what they look like. Single price. So we're just going to call this PP1. I'm just going to leave it at that. And this is going to be single SI and single price point. All right. And so what we're going to do is we're going to keep this as a one-time payment, right? A single one-time payment for selling your product. And we're going to make this $29. Okay. So that's going to be the first price point, single price point. Let's actually spell this right. Point 2. So we have price point 1. Actually, sorry, this is single price payment. That's what we wanted there. Okay. So we have a one-time payment right there. Okay. So that makes sense. We have one product set up with one payment, one price point. So we're actually going to add another price point here just so we can see what it kind of looks like. going to go ahead and click on add new price point. And now we go ahead and add our second price point. All right, so this is going to be price point 2. We're going to make this a recurring. This is going to be a subscription, right? So we can see the different ones here. Subscription, PPION. It's just going to be a subscription price. Right, this will just be PP2. And we're going to make this one here recurring. So this is basically, if you want to do kind of basically a subscription type thing, right? It's going to be recurring billing. So here we're just going to say this is going to be 29 bucks a month. We're going to be 29. I'm going to do this every monthly. But see, it's kind of nice because you have an option to do a whole bunch of different things here. So you can do every 2 weeks, monthly, every 2 months, quarterly, half year, yearly, every 2 years. So we're just going to go ahead and select monthly right here. And then obviously you can go through, you can do an installment one. So you can do basically installments at a specific time over time. Then you can do kind of recurring installments. So it's kind of, there's a lot of flexibility that you can actually come up with here. So it's definitely kind of nice. So we're going to go ahead and just add a new price point for that one as well. Or actually, crap. Actually, I want to go ahead and remove this one. I just want 2 of them on there. So we have our 2 price points. Okay. That all makes sense. So now we're going to go save and next. Next is going to ask us for our gateway. So you can add your PayPal gateway. I actually have my Stripe test account set up in here. So I'm just going to go ahead and use that. And you have to keep this at, they have to be 100% for everyone there. So we'll just keep that at 100%. We're going to go save and next. Now, if you want to have different payments, you can go ahead and you can use GrooveSell. You can go ahead and set up a different gateway. You can apply for a merchant account. So you can apply for GrooveSell if you want. But in this case right here, for the card to card, I just have Stripe and we're good right there. So we're going to do save and next. And next is going to be the contents. And this is where you kind of need some of your page information here. So the sales page URL, which we had here. So here's our sales page. So we just copy this, paste this right in here. All right. The thank you page. So we need a thank you page for each of our price points. In this case, we're just going to use the same thank you page for both of them. It doesn't really matter for our demo. But what's nice is that if you have different price points, so say you may have, say, a single price point at, say, $199, and maybe you have a 2 payment plan of $100 each, right? You can have different thank you pages landing. So for this case, we can have a thank you page for the subscription. We have a thank you page for the single price. Doesn't really matter. So in this case, we're just going to keep them the same. Refund period, I'm not going to offer a refund. And support info, you can either add support information on the receipt, or you can just go ahead and don't add it. This is kind of new, so I'm just going to go ahead and say add. Oh, and then you can actually add a URL or email and then put that information in. That's kind of cool. So I'm not going to actually, I'm going to select no for add that support information. I'm going to hit save and next. And now what's kind of nice is now they give you a lot of options to actually customize a couple things. So you can actually upload a product image. So I can go here and just select, let's see what I have here for images. You know what, we're just going to go ahead and grab this one right here. Whoops, I don't think I uploaded it. No, I didn't. Got to make sure you hit this button in order to actually upload the image. I keep forgetting that. So, okay, so we have that. And now you can go ahead and select your colors too. You can either go pink, blue, or gray. And now it's nice to actually have custom. So you can come in here and do your primary and secondary colors. So the primary is going to be the main colors right here, and the secondary is going to be your lettering within those. So I'm actually going to, I like the yellow and blue. It kind of matches already what I have. So we're going to go ahead and just leave that like that. Now you come over here to form fields. Okay, now what you can do here is there's a couple that are mandatory: first name, last name, email, and country and state. These are kind of mandatory. Now the rest of them, we can go ahead and either keep them or leave them, right? Or keep them or get rid of them. So we're just going to go ahead and get rid of all those because I'm not really a fan of having too many fields on the form. Express checkout. So once you start dealing with like OneClick upsells, you don't want to have them enter the payment information again. So you want to use express checkout. In this case, this is our first time going through the process. The people need to at some point put their credit card in. So yes, we want to have the full checkout experience right here. So we're going to go ahead and select no, use the full checkout experience. We don't want to use OneClick upsells or anything yet. So we're just going to keep that for no. Cart abandonment. So you actually have an opportunity here to basically have integrations in here. So if you have basically if somebody abandons their cart, you can go ahead and get an email sequence to go out with them. So I don't have any integrations set up yet. So because this is kind of a test account that I have, but normally you can set up an integration to ActiveCampaign or Zapier or whatever it is that you want to do. So if there is an abandoned cart, you could actually have somebody start an abandoned cart sequence. So that's a nice thing right there. You can put in any custom tracking codes or custom CSS. You can put in your specific terms and conditions. If you want to have them agree to that stuff, you can basically put all that stuff right in here. You can select what language you want. Right now it's just English. Soon they're going to actually have a couple different languages, which is cool. And then you can actually have a quantity option, which is actually kind of nice. So right now, I'm going to default is no quantities because that's what I'm just going to leave it at. But if you set this to yes, you actually have an option to drop down to put a quantity in there of whatever it is that you want the end user to purchase. So that's kind of cool. But for right now, I'm just going to go ahead and leave this as nothing, as a product not sold in quantity. So no quantity is going to be on the order page. Okay, I'm going to do save and next. Order bumps. Right now, I'm not going to put an order bump in here. We're going to do this actually in a minute once we go through this once. And what's kind of cool, they have this thing called the post order bump or post sell order bump. And this is kind of nice because it actually will pop it up right after they actually make the purchase, which is kind of cool instead of actually right within the order form. And I'll show you an example of kind of what that is. But for right now, we're just going to leave these both to no. So I'm going to do save and next. And now this is the actual funnel transition, right? Where's it going to go next? So in this point right here, we're going to have a thank you page. And the thank you page is basically going to be what the thank you page was that we put in back on the contents. Okay. And then same thing right here. Now, when it's time to put our upsell on there, we can go ahead and select upsell, and it's going to tell us where do we want to actually put the upsell page. And then we would go ahead and put the information there. But for right now, we're just going to leave it just a thank you page. We already have this information in there. So we're kind of good right there. All right. So I'm going to hit save and next. And now fulfillment. Now this is actually how the product gets fulfilled. You have an option of sending them right to a membership account, which in this case, we don't have a membership set up yet, so it's not giving us that option. We can do an integration. Like I said, if we had ActiveCampaign integrated, or if we had, well, hopefully when GrooveMail is in there, we'll be able to integrate GrooveMail. And basically what happens is that you can send an email out as soon as they purchase to actually fulfill it. You can do a webhook, which means you can go into something like Zapier. You can add a webhook right in there. So every time this order process, it'll go ahead and fire off that webhook. And then finally, you can actually do files, right? Files are basically, you can set up a file within GroovePages or within GrooveMember, and then you can go ahead and that file can get emailed out. So there's a couple different things you can do. You have a bunch of options for fulfillment. So we're gonna do save and next. If you have any affiliates for your particular program, this is where you would set them up. So you can say activate affiliate program, and then you can basically set up your tier 1 and tier 2 percentages. And then you could actually have overrides in there. You have custom landing pages for your affiliates. You can do a whole bunch of different things in here. But for right now, we're just going to say no affiliates. All right, we're going to do a save and next. And now we have our proof widgets. And the proof widget is basically just a little thing that pops up and says, hey, so-and-so bought your product. So we're going to go ahead and create one real quick, just so you guys can see. This is going to be our test proof widget. Right, and we're just going to say just purchased our demo product. You could obviously change this to whatever it is that you want. Product. So in display, the delay between notifications is when that thing pops up and then it goes away, how long do you want it to stay away for? So we're going to say 5 seconds on this one. And then how long should it actually show? I only want it to show for, say, 2 seconds. I want to show 10 of the last ones that came in. I want it to show up in the top left. Okay. And then in the design, you can go ahead and change out the color. So you can change out whatever color you want, the description color. You can click on here and you can actually do either enter in the RGB color, or you can select this thing and grab a particular color. Say you want that. It'll kind of do whatever you want here, right? So you can go ahead and customize it however you want. And then the location format, it can either show only the country, it can show only the city and then country, or not the location. I like to do city and country, and then I just like to do the gravatar, which will show basically the person's whatever they have up for their for their avatar. There's a main site you can go to actually upload that. And I do want to show that first name. I'm not going to show timestamps, but I do want to show that first name. Okay. I'm going to hit create. And it's going to go ahead and create our widget right here, which is good. And now we're going to go save and next. And now we're going to be finished. Okay. Then it's going to say what's next. So now we need to paste some stuff in the body code just to track some stuff here. Okay. So paste this code in the body section of the product sales page. So we're going to go ahead and copy this. I'm going to come back over here to GrooveFunnels. We're going to go to our sales page, which is right here. And what I want to do is I want to go ahead and edit this setting. And what I want to do is down here in the body, right, where it says include body, this said right here, paste this code in the body section of the product sales page. So we're going to come over here. That's the head. Here's the body. So we're going to go ahead and paste this in there. And we're going to come back over here. And the other thing it said is we want to grab this, this proof widget as well. So we're going to go ahead and copy that. And we're going to go ahead and just put a character here and paste that in there as well. All right. And now we're going to go ahead and save that. Okay. And now what we want to do is now we're going to go back to our dashboard here. Whoops. I want to go back to product funnels and then demo funnels. So what you can see is this is in draft mode. Okay. So what we need to do is we need to actually make this live right now. So we're going to go ahead and drop that down and we're going to go say make live. And if you don't make this live, right, I'm going to close this out for a minute. If you don't make this live and you go in here to manage products, you're going to see that this is grayed out. Okay. This is grayed out just because it's not live yet. So we do need to make this live. So go back here to product funnels. We're going to go to our demo product and we're going to come down here. And we're going to say make live. And it's going to say, what subdomain do you want? And this is what's going to show when somebody actually does the checkout, like the actual GrooveSell. So it's going to be whatever.groovesell.com. So we're just going to call this demo product. This is going to be our subdomain. It may not let us do this. Somebody may actually have it. Oh, it did. Okay, good. All right. So now if we come in here to manage products, you're going to see that now we have the option to have our cart right here. Okay. So we have our sales page right here. What we want to be able to do now is add a checkout. We want to go ahead and add something to purchase this here. So we're going to go ahead and add our checkout form. Okay. So there's a couple of different ways to do that. We can go ahead and select this right here, which will basically walk us through, basically allow us to create a checkout form. Okay. So we only have our demo product. This is actually our funnel and then our demo product. You know what I'm going to do just so we can see this here. I'm going to go ahead and edit this funnel. I'm going to call this demo product funnel. Right, just so we can see what the differences are. Okay. So now I'm going to come back in here to manage. I'm going to go ahead and click that and you can see. So here's our funnel up here, demo product funnel. And then here are all the products within that funnel. Right now, there's only one. It's the demo product. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and hit on create. And now we're actually going to go ahead and create our checkout page. So this is going to be our demo product checkout. Okay. And we're not worried about for a specific affiliate. So we're just going to hit save and next. Next is going to ask us how many steps we want. So we can have a single step checkout or we can have a multi-step checkout. All right. Single step basically means all the information is on one page. So as soon as they come to that page, all the information is right in there. They're going to type all their information and hit submit with the credit card, and it's going to go ahead and process the order. Now, the good thing about that is that it's one shot. They could enter all the information in, right? The bad thing about it is that you don't know if somebody lands on that page and then leaves, right? You do know if you can see if somebody bounced, but you don't have that person's information. That's why this multi-step checkout is really good, because what happens here is that you actually break down the checkout process into 2 steps, 3 steps, or 3 steps here. Okay, so you can break it down into 2 steps, which the first step is your email. So you give the person will give you their email. Once they give you that, then they'll go to the payment information. And what's nice about that is that if they give you the email information, go to the payment information and say, you know what, I don't want to do this. Well, that's called an abandoned cart. And we had the option to put an abandoned cart integration in there earlier. That's what would happen. So if they went ahead and put their email in there, they didn't make the actual purchase, that integration would then kick in, and we could go ahead and send them an email saying, hey, Bill, I saw you came to our thing. You gave us your email, but you never purchased. Why didn't you purchase? And you can go ahead and follow up with them that way. You can also break it down into 3 different ones where you have your email, your name and billing, and your payment. So the first step would be give me your email address. Second one would be give me your name and billing information, and the third one would be give me your payment information. And then the third one is basically your contact info, which is your name and email first, then the billing information, and then the payment information. So it's really kind of however it is that you guys are comfortable with, whichever one you want to do. I'm a fan of this two-step process. It works pretty good. I've never had a problem with it. So this is one I kind of go with. All right, we're gonna go ahead and enable all the price points on there because I want to make sure all the price points are seen. Look and feel, and this is we went ahead and gave it a general look and feel on the initial checkout form. So we're gonna go ahead and keep all that information. You can also disable the branding bar, which is this spot right up on top. If we go ahead and remove that, you can see it gets rid of that branding bar up top. I kind of like that in there, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave that. We're gonna do save and next. And again, here's the form fields, just like we had last time. You can go ahead and add a custom field if you want. I'm gonna go ahead and leave everything as is. If you are actually going to a membership area, you can actually collect their username and password information right here. So you can prompt them to basically say, hey, your order is gonna be delivered to you in a membership area. What do you want for username and password? So you can collect that information here if you want. All right, next we're gonna go to the custom CSS and tracking. Again, if you have a Facebook pixel or tracking information, you can put that right in here. And then finally, here's the actual checkout link, okay? So what's kind of cool is there's a couple things you can do. You can use this as a standalone link, right? So I can literally take this and paste this right in here. Right, so I have, you can see here is our product, right? We had the single payment plan and we had the subscription price, right? Or what you can do, you can actually embed it into your own page. And if you do that, you can use this information right here. Here's the basic link. Right, so you can copy this link and you can come back into here and we can just go ahead and paste that right in here. Right, so what we can do is we can go ahead and add an element. We can go ahead and do code embed. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this right in the bottom. We can come right here. We can click on the little here icon and we can go ahead and paste that in here. And then what you'll see is you'll see our demo product right here, okay? So when we publish this, give this a second. See if that took yet, yep. Okay, so you can see when we publish it now, right? Now we have our order form in here. And remember, we chose that two-step one, right? So first thing we're gonna do, obviously, is select whatever price that we want. So we want that first price. We're gonna go ahead and hit continue. And now here's where we put our email address in. So we'll say rob@gmail.com. You need the order information. And now it's gonna say, okay, give me your payment information now. So I'm gonna put my information in here. My credit card number, test number is this. And then complete purchase. And now when we hit complete purchase here, what's going to happen is that it should go to our thank you page, which is exactly what it did. So that's basically how to do it for a single product right there. All right, pretty straightforward, pretty easy. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to back out of here and we're going to come back into our product funnel. And we're actually going to add, we're going to go ahead and manage products. We're going to go ahead and add two things in here. We're going to add an order bump, and we're also going to add a one-click upsell, okay? So we're going to click on add, and we want to have, the only one we can actually choose is upsell or downsell, and I'm not really sure why this is here because you can change it afterwards, but anyway, you're going to select upsell, downsell. We're going to go ahead and click on create, and now we're actually going to create an order bump, right? So this is going to be our order bump, O-R-D-E-R, order bump. And maybe this is, I don't even know. Maybe it's just a PDF that we're going to grab, okay? It's still going to be a front-end product because it's actually going to be it's going to be an actual order bump. So we're going to hit save and next. The pricing for our order bump, we're just going to call this order bump price 1, all right? And then we're just going to call this order bump, and we're going to call this 29 bucks. Actually, you know what? We'll call this $19. Okay. And that's all we're going to need to do there. We're going to click save and next. Gateways, we're going to go ahead and select our same credit card gateway we had before. We're going to do save and next. Contest page. So we have our sales page, right? The sales page hasn't changed. I'm going to keep that same sales page. That's why I like to put everything in a spreadsheet. Thank you page. It's going to be right here. Oops, that's the order prompt. Thank you page URL. Yep. Refund period, we'll leave that as default, and no support information. All right. The checkout page, we don't really need to worry much about this because it's actually going to be an order bump. So I'm just going to leave everything just as is. I'm just going to go save and next. Now this is kind of where it gets a little confusing. Okay. This order bump, this bump part right here, is if we want to have an order bump for this particular product. Even though this product is an order bump, we don't want an order bump to happen for this product. So we want to make sure this is no. And I'll show you what I mean by that in a minute. So we're going to make sure that's no. We're just going to go save and next. And again, thank you page is going to be the regular thank you page. We don't have an upsell page yet, so it's not worried about that just yet. So we're going to do save and next. Fulfillment, again, this is how you would fulfill it, exact same way as last time, right? If you had, for the order bump, you can do an integration where it kicks off an email. You can do a webhook, again, where it does something like Zapier and send something out. You can send them a file. You can send them directly to a membership site. Then same thing, affiliates. The proof widget, the same exact thing, and then finish. Again, we're going to go ahead and take this tracking link right here. And this allows us basically to track the sales and stuff that happen with our order bump. So we're going to go ahead and take this and again, put this in the body. So we're going to come over here. We're going to go into funnels and into our sales page right here. We're going to click edit settings and we're going to come down here into body. All right, we're going to go put that one in there as well. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. And I'm going to do save and exit. Okay, so you can see right now we have our demo product and our order bump. Back on our demo product, we now have to add this order bump to it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and click on modify. And we're going to move over here to order bumps, which is number 6. And say, what kind of order bump do you want? I want to go ahead and just do a pre-sell order bump, and I want to go ahead and activate it. And I want to go ahead and add it. And the heading here is going to be grab our order bump. Right in the description for the order bump. Now, this is where you actually have to select the product now. So we have our order bump product, which we already have. We have our price point, which we have right here. And now it's going to go ahead and show us what our order bump is actually going to look like. So there's a couple different styles that you can have, right? You can have style 1, style 2, and then style 3. Style 3, basically you have to slide this slider right here. So I'm a fan of style 1. You can also have a thumbnail be displayed if you upload a thumbnail, and then you can also have a bouncing arrow. So I'm a fan of the bouncing arrow. So you can obviously change out these headers any which way you want, but this is essentially the way this is going to look. Okay. And then for the subscription price point, you could also have an order bump or not have an order bump. So it's kind of nice. You have the flexibility to do this on each price point. So you can even do something or maybe have separate order bumps for separate price points. I'm not going to worry about anything on the second one. It's the exact same thing. We go ahead and say, yes, activate the order bump. In this case, we're just going to leave it as no. So the difference between the pre-sell order bump and the post-sell order bump is when the user actually sees the order bump. And we'll go over this here in 1 minute. So then the funnel, all this stuff is actually going to be exactly the same, right? We don't have an upsell page or anything, so I'm not worried about it. Fulfillment, again, this is how you want to fulfill it. You go through a file integration. This is for the main product. So this stuff is already actually set up. So we're going to do save. And now we're actually going to exit out of here. Okay, so what we've done now is we've added an order bump to our demo product. So we're going to come back in here in the Groove, and I'm actually going to add an empty block in here. Whoops. Just because I want some space on the bottom. We're actually just going to add a background color in here just to get some color. I'm going to go ahead and save. I just put a little bit of space in here just so we can actually have some room. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and save this, and I'm going to go ahead and publish this. All right. Okay, so again, this looks a little funky because we just didn't really format it up all that good. But we're going to go ahead and use our single one. I'm going to keep that same email. Here's the by the way, here's the if you watch up here in the top left, you'll be able to see the proof widget that actually pops up. So we're going to go ahead and put our email in there. We're going to go ahead and keep all the same information. And now here's where our order bump comes into play now. Okay, you can see it right here. So we're going to go ahead and put our credit card information in here. And now if I want to grab the order bump, I can go ahead and just click on that. I'm not sure about that, but the other thing I wanted to show you guys is under the demo product, I want to do a post order bump. So I'm going to come back and try to figure out why that's not doing that. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and take this one off on this activate, and now I'm going to move it to post sell order bump. Okay, and the post sell order bump, I want to go ahead and activate it, and this is going to look a little bit different. Grab our order bump. Right here is my subhead. Description. Here. All right, now again, we're going to go ahead and select our product. So our product's going to be order bump. The price point is going to be this one. And there's a couple different ways we can do it. We can do it in a slider or a light box. So light box essentially looks like this. If we hit this preview, it's something that's going to pop up right after we actually order. And it's going to say, hey, do you want to add this to your order? You can either say yes or no thanks. Or you can actually do it as a slider, right? If you do a slider actually will come out on the side and say, hey, do you want to add this to your thing? You can either add it or no. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and leave this as a light box. And I'm going to go ahead and save that. All right. Where are we at here? Is it this one? Nope. I just lost my page. Sorry. All right. We're going to go ahead and close out a couple of these. All right. So we're going to go ahead and republish this one again. All right, so hopefully this will publish. All right, so that published, we're gonna go back here and run through this one more time here. So we have our single price point. We're gonna go ahead and do continue. We're gonna keep the same email address. Country, we're gonna select the United States and Arizona. And a card number is gonna be the 4242. So remember what we had here is we had set up as the post-sell order bump, okay? So what should happen here is when we do complete purchase, it's going to ask us, hey, do you want to grab the order bump, right? And I'm going to say, yes, add this to my order. And just basically when automatically was added right to my order, okay? And then right back to the thank you page. So pretty straightforward to do an order bump like that. And then the last thing we can do is we can go ahead and do an upsell on here. And I'm going to add an upsell real quick. So upsell, here's our upsell internal. So description. Okay, we want to make sure this is set to upsell, downsell. I'm going to go ahead and save and next. Pricing, again, this is going to be our price point 1. Call this PPE 1. So price point. Sell point, there we go. And we're going to make this one 197. Okay, we're going to do save and next. Gateways, we're going to go ahead and credit card. We're going to go ahead and use our Stripe one. We're going to do save and next. Contents, we have our sales page. Again, this is where, so on here, we'd actually want to go ahead and put our upsell page. So we need to make an upsell page real quick. So we're going to come back into here in the funnels. We're just going to go ahead and just grab a, actually, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and grab a blank template. We're going to call this the upsell page. Upsell. All right, we're going to do this really quick. So we're going to do this. This is just going to say this is our upsell page. Click upsell page. And what I want to do here is I want to go ahead and grab a button. I'm going to go ahead and put a button right here. All right. Okay. So actually, before I do that, I want to go ahead and publish this real quick. But this right here is going to be our upsell sales page. Okay. So in Groove here, in GrooveSell, for the sales page, we're going to go ahead and put our upsell page, and the thank you page. We're going to go ahead and we're just going to keep using. We're going to go ahead and keep using our same thank you page. And you can obviously put a different thank you page in there if you want. Not a problem at all. You just put in whatever you want. Refund period and support info, I'm just going to go ahead and leave that the same. Okay, the checkout here, I'm going to leave everything as just pink. It's not really going to matter. Express checkout is what we want. Okay, we want to make sure we use the one-click confirmation or activate straight through payments. So essentially, the one-click upsell, they're going to go ahead and click that, and then it's going to ask them for a confirmation. Are you 100% sure? And then otherwise, you can use this one. It's just going to be a straight through payment. Basically, you click yes, and they're good to go. So we're going to go ahead and just click with the confirmation, and I'm going to leave everything else the same right here. We don't want any order bumps, the funnel, we don't want anything on here. We do need to add the upsell page on our main product though. So that's going to be okay for there. Fulfillment, again, you figure out how you want to fulfill it. Affiliates, not worried about that, not worried about proof, and not worried about finish right here. But I can go ahead and take this link and we can go ahead and add it to here. This is just a tracking link, so we go ahead and add that right in there. All right. And now what we want to do is we want to go ahead and do save and exit. And now we have our upsell page right here, okay? And what we want to do is we want to go ahead and click on that, and we just want to go ahead and hit create. And really, we just want a checkout link here, right? So we just want to upsell checkout link. Now we're just going to go through the rest of these single step. This really doesn't matter just because of the fact that it is just a one-click upsell. All right. So I'm not worried about anything else on here. I'm just going to go ahead and just go through the rest of these. I'm going to go ahead here, save and next, save and next. Okay, and now we have our checkout link. Okay, so this is the link right here, which is what we want. We want to go ahead and copy this. Now what happens is on our GrooveSell page, or on our Groove page, our upsell page, for this particular button, the URL that we want to happen on this button is our checkout page, right? This here is a one-click upsell. So what'll happen is that we're going to go ahead and say, do you want this? They're going to click it once and it's going to be automatically added to their order. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and click on update. Now, obviously there may be points where the person may not want this particular order. All right. They may not want to add that. And that's totally okay. So what we need to do is we need to give them basically like a no thank you link, right? So no thanks. I don't want this. Now, obviously, this would be styled up a little bit better. But what we want to do is that if they don't take that, that's totally fine. We just want to send them to our thank you page then. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and add a link to this whole thing and basically say to the thank you page right there. Hopefully that went. Yep. Okay. All right, cool. So we're going to go ahead and save. And now we're going to go ahead and publish this. Okay, now the other thing we need to do is we need to tell GrooveSell that, hey, you know what? We have an upsell on here now. Okay, so we want to go back to our product funnels. And we have our main demo product funnel. So what we have now is we have our demo product. All right, we want to go ahead and edit this because this is still our main product. And under the funnel part right here, okay, we want to go ahead and tell this that, hey, we have an upsell page. Okay, and the upsell page is this right here. So GrooveSell knows now that when it goes to after the first purchase, right, it says, okay, what do I do? Do I go with thank you page or do I go to an upsell page? Oh, I have an upsell page. Okay, cool. So I'm going to go ahead and go to that upsell page. And then after that, it's then going to take whatever product that was on the upsell and go to the thank you page based on that. So that's kind of that's kind of how that flow works. But this is where you define your upsell page. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and click on save. And then fulfillment, again, this is our main product. So we can go ahead and save. And then we can just go ahead and exit out of here. All right, so what we have now is we have, let's see, we already published this right here. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to go back to our main sales page, which is this one right here. So we're gonna go ahead and just refresh this and get this rolling. So if you remember what the flow should be now, we should have our demo product. We're gonna have an order bump, right? Which is basically say, hey, do you want to add this to your order? And then we're gonna have our final upsell page, okay? So let's see if that actually works. I haven't tried it with the hybrid order or the hybrid order bump yet, so we're going to see if this actually works. I know that doesn't sound all that confidence building, but this is the new one right here. So let's see what we can do. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do this. We're going to hit complete purchase. Oops, complete purchase. And I don't want to add this to the order. So now it should go to the upsell page, which it does. Perfect. Is that one-click upsell? Do I want this? If I didn't want it, I could just hit no thanks, and I'll go ahead and just go right to the thank you page. But this is a one-click, so I'm going to go ahead and click on that. It's going to say, hey, do you really want this thing? Yes, I definitely want this. I'm going to add 197. I'm going to go ahead and complete that. And it goes as in process, and then goes to our thank you page. Okay, so that's basically how you go ahead and add a product, an order bump, and an upsell all through GrooveSell. Do you guys have any questions at all? I'm going to go ahead and take this out of the. All right, now it's a pretty good walkthrough of everything on how to use GrooveSell and GroovePages to create a product funnel, an upsell, and an order bump. So I really hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did run into any snags, go ahead and put your questions below, and I'll go ahead and make sure I answer them as soon as I can. And if you want to see even more videos that can help you simplify Groove, make sure you click on this playlist above and make sure you subscribe to be notified when we have our new videos. And remember, if you haven't joined our awesome Facebook group, Groove Nation, what are you waiting for? There's a link for it down below. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.